Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we have another teardown video. We're going to be tearing down this Toyota lock actuator, and I'm going to show everyone what new technology and plastic is making nowadays. Great units. And if you haven't figured out I'm being sarcastic, yeah, I am, because these things suck when they go out. But with that said, if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button down below. Smash the like button, it helps the channel out. With that said, let's go ahead and tear into this unit, and I'll show you what's inside, and we'll maybe figure out what went wrong with it. In case you guys are wondering, figure I'd take a couple seconds here and explain. This vehicle came into my shop. It was a 17 RAV4 driver's door actuator. It would not lock or unlock electronically. Manually it would work, because obviously manually these things are still have manual levers in them. But it just wouldn't lock and unlock with the remote or with the button in the door, which tells me the lock actuator motor probably went bad. And the guy lived with this car this way for about a year before he got fed up and said I need to replace it. So that's what failed on, if you guys are curious, and I'm pretty sure just the lock actuation motor. But these things are very complex. There's a lot of plastic in here, and I figured this will make a good teardown to show everyone the crap engineering that we're going through nowadays, because these are not cheap for what they are, and it's just a bunch of plastic, guys. Really well utilized plastic. That's all I could really say. So let's tear it down. So we have it on the bench, and what we're going to be using is basically just a little screwdriver to open it up. Now, I've never opened up one of these, but we have these plastic tabs that I'm pretty sure all I got to do is pry on and break. And at this point, I'm going to be destroying this guy. This has no value. I mean, it's pretty much a trash unit. Let me try to open these up. And surprisingly, this plastic is actually pretty strong on these tabs. So what we're going to do is just crack all of these open one by one. Okay, I believe we got most of those clips taken off, and it took a little longer than I would have thought. They are real stinkers. So let me go ahead and remove some of this tape here. I believe this also comes out somehow or detaches. So let me remove the rest of this tape. Try to get an idea. This is a nice mix of plastic and, you know, just a bunch of stuff. So it looks like we have a screw here that I don't even have the right screwdriver for, but it's all right. When in need of Phillips, can be taken off with a flathead. And I probably shouldn't even use this. I could probably just go to my toolbox, which is right next to me, and get a Phillips. But here, sometimes we are just too lazy to cut the camera off and go get the proper tool. But let's see, if I slip off again on this, I'll probably go and get the right tool, unless we use our finger to get it off. Alrighty. So looking over, everything I believe should be easy to open now. And let's just kind of honk this open if we can. And I know there's certain parts here. I believe this metal bar, yeah. Let me grab a screwdriver here, guys. All right, I have returned with my screwdriver and drill. We're gonna go ahead and remove this really long bolt. And I'm hoping that will allow me to pry up on this metal piece here, or at least allow me to pry up on it to get this cover off. I was really hoping that would just kind of fall off of there. Elusive mystery screw here. Let's take this off too. Never torn these apart. I kind of know what's in them, but at the same time, never really had a reason to. But I figured you guys might want to know when you have to replace it what you're paying $300 to $400 for. I figure I could at least give my YouTube audience that. Looks like this glue here, or this tape, is holding some of this together. You know what infuriates me? The second I cut off the camera, I just took my big screwdriver and I put it right here, and voila, this thing's apart. Can you imagine that? Right when I turn it off. Anyway, let's take this off, because this is coming off independently. This is the latch assembly portion of it. In here you have where your door striker will normally lock in, and you see it locked in right there. And then I assume by pushing this, it'll unlock it. Just a bunch of spring mechanisms and things like that. And before anyone asks me this, because I'm sure you will, yeah, that little piece in there that holds your door shut Yep, you better believe it. That's plastic. Now, I'm sure it's some high-grade plastic or something of that sort, but nonetheless, it's plastic. You just can't get away from using plastic on these. You know, this is what it is. The outside area is metal. That's probably to trick people because they charge you like $400 for these if you got an original one, and then aftermarket probably spending like $200 or $300, which at that point you might as well just buy the original one in my book, especially for a latch. But I get it. Now I don't know if this metal portion will separate. Probably not, and I don't want to spend a whole lot of time trying to, you know, screw around with this thing. But yeah, it doesn't look like it's gonna be easy separation here, but all that's in here is a couple springs and a couple levers and things like that. You can kind of get an idea here on the side, so not really worth opening. I'm just gonna leave that alone. Then over here we take our two halves apart, and that's pretty much it, folks. That's where you have it. Have a nice day. Enjoy the video. Nah, I'm kidding. But yeah, not a whole lot. Got a bunch of little levers and springs. Now all this stuff is metal, which some of you might say it's great, but then you realize the pivot points are going into a plastic case like this one, and those can break over time, again, even though it's a harder plastic. Now I'll tell you, in case you're wondering what failed on this, it's this motor right here. I'm willing to bet money that this is why it's not locking and unlocking, because it is the only motor in here, and then everything else here is a manual slide. So these are really basic. It's still manual because in case you get into an accident or you have no power, you got to have levers with cords pulling. So all of this stuff here with the springs, you can see it's all manual related lever stuff. If I'm ballsy here, let me see if we can kind of tear this apart. There's a spring there, I'm sure. Now that part's not coming off. This part's not coming off. This part, yeah, I can get off. You can see just kind of plastic, some grease, things like that. This side here is a sensor, and it's attached to this. Depending on how the power flows, it'll basically tell the computer whether the door is locked, unlocked, or whatever. We have our little micro switch here, which I believe also tells you when the door is opened, if I'm not mistaken, and you get a little door jar sign right here. We have our connector, and then we have our motor. Not a whole lot more on this side. And then, of course, on this side, we have your lock, unlock. That's what gets spun by that motor to make it move. And then we also have our little tracing little sensor thing here. Like I said, this probably just picks up when the door is locked and unlocked. You got your little micro switch on here and everything that's basically, you know, tells the computer where it needs to go. But these brand new are quite expensive, and you can see a lot of engineering behind it, more than likely, but not really well worth it. And funny thing I just realized and I noticed here right now, even these motors now, they have a plastic cap end here. Like, why is everything going this route? I don't know. Can't really say. It's just, you know, companies being companies. Let me see if I can get some of this stuff out of here. I want to see that micro switch possibly, if I'm able to get it out of here without completely breaking it. And oh, that was actually easier than I thought. It fell on the floor. But yeah, there it is, guys. You see this? This is what they call a micro switch. It has this little lever up there. You can kind of see me hopefully moving it. That basically uses an input from that little lever to tell whether it's open or closed. And that's what's inside one of these. Not a whole lot there. Just pretty much a bunch of plastic, some metal, some motors. Customer had to pay $400 for this little motor going out, because otherwise everything else in here was functioning correctly. Just this motor got burned out over time, and it's probably because this little cover doesn't dissipate heat as good as metal would, and probably caused it to overheat and break. Very common failure point on Toyota RAV4s. Driver sides mainly because it's the most used one. It's the main switch. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and you got some use out of it. So I was gonna close out the video right then and there, but I figured let me throw this little quick rant in there for everyone in case you're wondering why I'm sounding kind of peeved off in this video. And it's because The cost of goods and parts for not only shops but for consumers has gone up dramatically, and we get presented with crap like this. Plastic. And this is a pretty big safety item. I mean, this holds your door shut. If any of these plastic pieces were to break, I'm sure it's designed very well with high-grade plastics. I know someone in the comments section will say, it's not the same plastic, it's a highly rated ABS, You can probably lift the car with it if you really needed to. I'm sure that's real, and I understand some things can be engineered better than metal and stuff like that, but longevity-wise, plastic wears out, metal lasts a lot longer. Just my take on it. I'm not saying that these aren't designed with quality in mind or like safety in mind, because they are. Modern cars have gotten more safer, but I mean, really, like, does that little latch in there that keeps your door shut have to be plastic? Like, can we at least put metal on that? Plus, I would think if you somehow kick the door hard enough, since this all goes in a plastic housing, if you got the brute strength to maybe kick the door out, you probably would shear that all off and it would come off, maybe, you know. Possibly. Maybe not, because it is bolted using this metal frame to the door, but you know, it is what it is. Welcome to the modern world. Anyway, just want to get a little frustration out, because again, I don't think customers, as much as I'm a mechanic and I want to fix your car and make money, guys, I think it's very stupid when you got to spend $400 plus an hour of labor to replace this lock actuator because of a 50-cent motor, probably even less because it's made of plastic. And the cost of the consumer could be like $600-700 all said and done. It's ridiculous. It needs to stop. So anyway, I'm gonna cut it there. Don't want to make this into a rant, even though this has pissed me off more than I thought it would, just kind of opening it up, because I knew it was plastic. I thought it would be a great video, but I mean, honestly, this is the ticker. This really got me. A plastic cap on a motor, like, really? What did you say? Quarter of a penny? Like, all right, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully, if you made it this far, thank you. And actually, I do have a question for everyone. These videos are not doing as great as I would like them to as far as the teardown videos go. So if you made it this far, give me a thumbs up if you like it, and let me know in the comment section if I should continue doing them, because I'm thinking of possibly retiring these series, because, you know, most people, like I said, they're not really watching the teardown videos. But either way, like always, comment, like, and subscribe, because it helps the channel grow. Hope everyone has a wonderful day, and I'll catch you on the next video.